Showtime.
Hell yeah, bro. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sidejag, the show we're staying on point. Well, kind of pointless. We're going to be talking about movies, TV shows, video, I don't know, all that fun stuff. Maybe some food. We're going to have a good time. Thank you for joining us tonight. How you been, man?
Dude, I was good. Not so great today, but let me tell you, I have some food to talk about.
Oh,
I just came back from a 5-day cruise. Before we went to the cruise, we went to Mississippi, Pass Christian. I thought it was called Pass Christian, but when we get there, we find out it's Pass Christian,
okay.
Mississippi, just outside of Gulfport. It's a sleepy little beach town. If you ever want to go to the beach and be the only person at the beach, this is where you go.
Okay.
So we went there. We done the beach a little bit, but we mainly done a little bit of shopping, a little bit of hanging out, drinking, and eating a bunch of seafood. So we started off. I've never had a royal red shrimp. Have you?
No, I'm not a real big seafood guy.
Okay, so in Mississippi, I guess they're called royal red shrimps, and they're very
Okay.
big shrimps. I had a lobster roll, but out of shrimp, and let me tell
Okay.
you, it was the best lobster roll I've ever had in my life.
Wow. So these are
So
big prawns.
they're huge and they're red. They're not pink, or orange,
Okay.
kind of how shrimp can usually be.
Yeah.
They are straight up red, like a lobster,
Okay.
and they were wonderful. So I started off there. Then we
Okay.
went on the cruise. Cruise had a bunch of good food. None of it was like standout good. I think it was just good because they had like a fancy service in the main dining hall and all that stuff. Now,
Right.
when we stop at Mexico, I had the best guacamole of my life. I'm not even kidding. And it wasn't like a traditional, it was like a Mayan buffet that we had because we
Okay.
were at the ruins
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
I wish I would have gotten nothing but the guacamole
Oh
and
my God.
chips.
Really?
That's how good the guacamole was.
Wow.
Everything else, everything was wonderful at that buffet.
Because to me, like guacamole is one of those things where it's like there's a limit where your body just goes, all right, that's enough, and you go, yeah, you're right.
No, dude, this guacamole was heavenly. It,
Hmm.
it was it was very, very good.
Now, what were you using to carry the guacamole into your mouth?
Chips,
Just
fresh
regular, just
homemade
homemade,
tortilla
deep
chips.
fried tortilla chips.
Right.
Okay.
And it didn't have nothing to do with alcohol because I didn't have that many drinks to make it taste that good. But the guacamole was on point. That was at Progresso in Cozumel. We went to a place called Mr. Sanchez's where I had some really good, just straight up like traditional Mexican nachos. That were very good black bean nachos
Okay.
and just some straight up street tacos.
The
So,
things that Fernando talks about in his dreams.
dude, it is like I was on food heaven this vacation. The cruise itself was very good as well, but when we went to Mexico, when we were at Mississippi, I was eating like a king. I was destroying seafood. I was eating lobster. I was eating everything I could: shrimp, lobster. I tried shrimp cocktail for the first time. Never had cold shrimp before. Before the lobster
You've
roll, that
never
was
had cold shrimp?
never. I've always had fried shrimp or
Really?
grilled shrimp, and
Okay.
it just never appealed to me. I never thought like, why would I want to do this? Well,
We call those peel and eat them.
yeah,
So like
and it's good. I
I
can confirm
I
if
have
they're good shrimp.
no place in my life for peel and eat shrimp.
Yeah,
Like I don't mind like a shrimp cocktail where they've already peeled it and they're hanging off the
that's what it
thing.
is. Yeah,
You can just grab it and scoop it. It's like I'll have one or two of those maybe, but if I gotta sit there and
nah, I don't want to do that either. I had the shrimp cocktail, and that wasn't even appealing to me because I was like, I like shrimp fried. I like shrimp grilled. Why would I
right.
want it cold with cocktail sauce? But it turns out, yeah, if the
It's
shrimp's
boiled.
good,
I
it's
mean, it's
good.
still
Yeah,
cooked. It's boiled. It's just
right,
they
right. It's
eat it
just
cold. Yeah,
cold. Yeah,
yeah. We always have one of those for Christmas, and it always manages to disappear. So I'm like,
yeah,
all right, well, people like that. I'm not one of them. To me, they're just cockroaches in the sea. So it's
yeah.
like, oh,
But they're
gross.
good ones, so
So now you made me think. It's like, what have I eaten in the last 2 weeks? And it's like,
Yeah.
so for my birthday, we went to this restaurant here that I've been dying to go to at nighttime. We've only gone during the day, which we've been on the Boring Life. We went there. It's called Noble Crust. We went there for pizza, and they have this really awesome breakfast pizza. But they have fried chicken, and I've always wanted to go there at nighttime for the fried chicken.
Yeah.
So we got to go there for my birthday. We got to go there, and they had the girls are garlic knot connoisseurs.
Yeah.
And they had this pan cooked garlic knot. So they took a like an 8-inch or a 6-inch, probably a 6-inch cast iron skillet. So skillet, I guess it was skillet garlic. And they put garlic knots inside of that with some mozzarella cheese inside of them, and then they kind of baked it. It was like monkey bread.
Yeah.
But garlic knots. I thought it was fabulous. Haley was kind of like, and Sue thought it was good. So it was 2 out of 3. So 2 out of 3, believe it or not, is not a pass. And the garlic knot.
They didn't make the cut then.
Yeah, it didn't make the 2 out of 3. You don't make the cut. You have to have a perfect 3.0 to win that one. But the chicken, it was 8 pieces or 4 pieces of fried chicken. It was great chicken. They had awesome garlic mashed potatoes that were good. The macaroni and cheese was all right. I thought it was okay, but Haley was like, "That's gross." And I was like, "Really? It's fine for me." But the one thing out of the whole thing that was just kind of weird was they gave you gravy to dip it in, and I was like, "Oh, I like gravy." And I was gonna order extra gravy, and I was like, "You know what? No, I'll just take whatever they give me."
Right.
And I don't remember what they did to it, but they managed to really bougie up the gravy, and it was the most disgusting tasting like biscuit gravy ever. I was like, why did you screw this up?
Did it have wine or something? I've tasted gravy they run red wine, and it was not great.
No, I don't know what they did to it. I don't remember, but man, it was gross. But the chicken was like, it's like KFC. No. But it was super good. And then for my birthday, there was 2 restaurants I went. I'm sorry, for Father's Day. So we tried this this one breakfast restaurant that Haley and I go to, and in a little town here in Florida, because there's lots of little towns out. We live in a little town, and they have a main street, and there's all these little restaurants, and we go to one for breakfast, and then we're walking around. We're like, dude, we got to go here because they literally have a coal-fired pizza oven. Like, it's just like, dude, it's like, there it is. And they're like putting logs in it and shit. And I was like, yeah, we got to come back here. So for Father's Day, we took my dad and got pizza. Haley and I got pizza. Sue and my dad got shrimp scampi with mushrooms, which he was like, these are the best mushrooms I've ever had in my life. And I was like, saying something, I guess. And then Sue got baked ziti, which to me is like a waste, but she loved it. But the pizza, we ordered 2. There again, we got the garlic knots, and we got bruschetta.
Yeah. And
the bruschetta was like their small pizza, just cut into squares, and then a pile of the bruschetta crap to put on it.
Yeah.
Oh my dude, like I could have cared less just eating this dough. Oh my god, I was like. It was like your guacamole experience. I would have been done there. We got 3 stars on the garlic knots, so they passed. They passed. But what made it so much fun is so this restaurant, you have the pizza / Italian restaurant, you have seating, and then they own a gelato store next door.
Oh no!
Oh,
triple threat!
Oh my god, it was so great. So. We walked out of here, walked back in with our receipt, got our 10% discount, and we all got gelato. So it was like, woo! So pizza was good. I mean, everybody. Yeah, I'm a pizza guy. So it was like, all right. So now we have to. Where does this pizza fit in our hierarchy of
the pizza?
It's like, like this pizza's no good.
That was the one thing on the boat that was always open was the pizza,
right?
And they had a coal-fired pizza place. It was legit coal-fired pizza.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good the first couple of days. This is the problem. Like, we were so excited to eat like the formal dinner that we'd go at 5:30 and eat the formal dinner. Well, Now we've been to 10 shows and we've been out at the piano bar inside the thing. Well, it's like midnight. Like, dude, I'm hungry. Like, we ate at 5:30. I'm hungry again. We've been up
Oh
for
yeah,
7
it's 6
hours after
hours.
we,
Yeah.
it's like, where are we gonna go? The only thing that's open is the pizza place. So I get the pizza every night.
Yeah, so you get kind of tired of it towards the end.
Yeah, but it was still good. It was still good.
Dude, when we were at when Brian Mitchell picked us up for SEMA at the airport, and we ended up going, driving all around Vegas and seeing all that crap. We ended up back up at New York, and
they had a good pizza place there. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a great pizza place. Like,
I haven't been there in like 9 years,
I'm sure
I remember
it
being good.
Oh my god, we got this large, just extra large,
yeah,
cheesy. Oh, dude,
I think I just got a slice. The slices are big, aren't they?
Oh, it didn't matter. I was like, man, I was so full, and I'm like, man, there's 2 pieces left.
Yeah.
Don't know. No.
Well, that's how they got me on the guac. They run out of the guac because it was a buffet. And someone done scooped it all up, and I was like, damn. All right, I guess I'll eat this chicken mole.
Oh, that's the best. That's cool. We're doing a cruise next year, which Haley's actually more excited about next year's vacation than this year's vacation. And it's like,
yeah,
we're going to Maui. Like, we're going to Alaska. And I'm like,
I heard people talk about the Alaskan cruises when we were on there, and they said they are awesome.
My mom's done the regular. This one's going to be the Disney, so this one ought to be, as we've talked about before, fucking stupid.
Yeah, yeah. It's well, I didn't know how I was going to enjoy the cruise. I definitely ended up putting one of the little patches behind my ears.
Oh yeah,
because like 4 hours, I don't get seasick on boats too much.
Right.
But for whatever reason, man, I just like I wasn't like nauseous, but I just didn't feel good. Like my head didn't feel right. So I put the patch on, boom, got me to normal. But I had there was so much stuff to do on the boat that
that's cool.
I mean,
I've never been on a cruise.
Every hour.
Next year will be my first one.
Yeah. They had a piano bar on there. They had a comedy club. They had a nightclub that we never went to. When we stayed up late, we were at the piano bar. So, there's stuff to do.
Yeah. Is it just me, or has Stranger Things gotten cheesy this season? All right, we're gonna talk about that next.
Talk about it. Yeah.
But before we get to that, Baba forgot to ask, how's Haley coming along with the Boring Life edit? The reason why I'm wearing the Hi Haley shirt is that this Saturday you're gonna get Haley's first video edit. It is coming out, so stay tuned for that. It's done. It's in the can. She got it all edited, got it all done last weekend. I wanted to save it till this Saturday so it could go back in its regular time slot. So yes, be looking forward to this Saturday. The Boring Life will be back, at least for this episode. And then we have more film that I need to get her to start working on. So
there you go.
She was like, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, stay tuned this Saturday. Another Boring Life episode will finally be back.
It takes a while to enjoy an edit. It takes a while to appreciate the edit.
Yeah. Just to want to do an edit.
It's a slog, man.
Yeah. All right, let's talk Stranger Things. All right.
Stranger Things.
Can I throw this out real quick?
Do it.
I have enjoyed the shit out of this season. I know this is cheesy. What I really enjoyed about this so far is we didn't have to wait to get to the fucking point. It was like,
right, yeah.
And they almost played on it because, like when they're like code red. Like we knew what it was. Like the second episode, they're code red in this bitch. It might even been the first episode where they're like, it's code red. Oh, dude, like strange shit's going on. We know what's going on. This is the stuff we do. It's back, and you're just like, damn, like, boom, we're into it, and we're off to the races. I think the only thing that slowed this season down was the Russian jail cell crap.
Yeah, and I could even look back because the rest of it was so good. I could look past the jail cell.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're kind of setting up their little story and telling us what happened? What were the Russians doing? What they're trying to kill people with the what they call the Demogorgons or the
Yeah.
Demodogs or whatever.
That was a Demogorgon.
Yeah, Demogorgon, and it's like, okay, we get it, but I really think Stranger Things lost their way in season 3.
Yes.
Even though it had the coolest setting with the mall and all that,
Oh yeah, for sure.
that's when they lost their way. And to me, like from episode 1 through what is it 7,
Yeah.
they're like back in the pocket. They are back in
Dude,
full Stranger Things mode.
when the last episode dropped, we watched. When we watched it, we're
Yeah,
like, why didn't they do this years ago? Like,
right,
like we understand everything now. Like
right.
they literally said, you know what? Let's stop beating around the bush. Here's everything, and you're like,
Yeah, and of course he's number 1. Of course he's number 1.
well, yeah, but
You knew right away.
he literally is the whole reason that this all exists in the first place.
Right.
And it's like,
and technically, it's Eleven's fault. It's all Eleven's fault.
well, it is. Well, everything always is, but
Because she burned him up and sent him, thus making him Vecna.
well, okay, but all right, so to back up, he was trying to kill her,
right?
Okay, so they all knew she was better. Like they all knew she was better, but so when he goes on a rampage and starts killing everybody, and then starts to kill her, like, nah, bitch, like I'm 11, man. I'm a get ready for some Eggo waffle eating motherfucking ass kicking, and so it really wasn't her fault. Yes, it was her fault, but it wasn't her fault because if he would have left her alone,
right,
and not tried to
well, it seemed like there was a moment where he wanted to turn her.
Oh, he did.
There was a chance for her to join, which obviously no one's going to do that. So once that passed, and it's like, okay, now it's go time, and then
and it was like,
she smoked
away. Oh, smoked him hardcore, like
literally smoked him.
Oh yeah,
burnt to hell.
And that it's just a long way to the bottom, baby.
Yeah.
But there again, he was already crazy to begin with. So in this, I felt like this story, if you guys haven't watched it yet, you're going to thoroughly enjoy this, because I really feel like this story has gotten to the point so much faster and has really allowed us to just it's like we already know the characters. We know what they're capable of. We know what they can do. Yes, we get the introduction of a couple new characters in this one.
Yeah.
My personal favorite character is the redhead. Okay. I think she's a badass, and she's like the badass in the group. Like she's the one that is going to move everyone out of the way and kick this person's ass. So getting to see her, cause I'm like, there's no way that anything's going to happen to her because she's a badass. Yeah. And so letting her be the badass that she's supposed to be, and being like, deuces, bro.
Well, the rest of the kids are nerds, and it's like she came in late into the game. It's like, hey, she's had a hard knock life, had a douchebag brother, so she's rough and tumble, and she's got to do it.
Eddie's not going anywhere. Okay, Eddie's my number 2. Eddie is 100% my number 2. I think it's the thing now. They got to hurt him. They always have to hurt him.
Yeah.
He got hurt. He's literally gotten hurt in every show. So, but this time we got to see shirtless Eddie, going to town and just being like,
Eddie, and what's the toothless kid's name?
Oh yeah. Those are the 3 best characters.
Those are 2. In the whole you know who they could kill and I wouldn't care? Mike, Will Byers, and even Winona Ryder.
Oh God. And the brother, Will's brother this season is
right. Yeah, dude, just kill him already. Just kill him.
Yes, just kill him. Kill him and his pot smoking high friend. I mean,
we
needed somebody that had a car. I mean, literally, we needed somebody that had a car. So we have to. That's the guy we get. But so one of the scenes I love the best, one of the scenes I was absolutely totally cool about, was when Steve's like, I'm gonna jump into the dark, scary water because I was on the swim team and go look through the hole. So he does that, and it's like, I mean, okay, so this season, the seasons are always based on something. This season is based on American scary movies. So you got Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all those. all that shit. So
Yeah.
that's what's going on, and that's the back undertones of this movie or of this series. So, you know, when he jumps into the water, swims down in the bottom, sees it, and like, you know, like a goofball touches it, and then of course
Yeah.
the little tentacle thing, you know it's coming to get him. You know it's coming to get him. Like
Of
when he's up
course.
on the boat
Yeah.
and he's talking, he's like, okay, I don't know about you, but like, no, you're out of the water. Okay,
Yeah.
get me out of here. And then of course he gets jerked back down.
Yeah.
And the two girls, they don't even hesitate. They're like, we're going in after him.
Yeah.
And so there's the conversation between Steve and Eddie,
Yeah.
where they're like, he's like, bro, those girls. Okay, it was Eddie, not Steve. Anyways, I always get Steve is Eddie, Eddie is Steve. So that's what I was talking about. Anyways, Steve's the best, not Eddie.
Right.
Eddie's the new guy. Eddie's the new guy, right?
Eddie's the guy, the rocker. Yeah.
Okay,
what,
so
what they call him.
I meant Steve. Steve is the guy that like Steve is my number 2. So backing that up. I'm sorry, I confused the two, but Steve is the number 2. Anyway, so Steve jumps in the water. They go and they immediately, and so Eddie and Steve are talking, and Eddie's like, bro, like you need to hook up with her again. And he's like, nah, man, we're just friends. He's like, no, dude, those girls did not hesitate. Like they did not give a shit. They jumped in the water after you, didn't care. And I'm like, that was one of the funniest conversations because it was like, yeah, that shit just happened, and you know, it was cool.
I like the car scene with Steve, and then the chick that worked at the fish fry place with him.
We'll just call him his partner. They're cops.
Yeah.
Those two are cops now.
No, the girl though.
Yes.
Before. Which
one? The
lesbian one.
Yeah. They're partners.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're the cops. They're the cop team of the show.
Right.
Like they're Cagney and Lacey, but they're not Cagney and Lacey.
They're talking about the scene with what's her name, where she comes up topless out of the classic 80s movie.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. Fast Time, maybe Fast Time at Midnight.
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
Anyways, he's like, nobody stops that there unless they like boobs. He's like, she's like, we all have something in common. You like boobs, she likes boobs, I like boobs. And he's like, nobody stops the movie exactly on this spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cracked me up.
Oh, Murray is hilarious. Murray has become like the ninja of the show.
Dude, I was like, no way Murray's actually gonna kick ass. And Murray kicked ass. Like I thought, oh, them karate skills are never gonna pay off. Guess what? They paid off.
Oh, dude. Murray is like, you know, he was a nut job in the first two, and this one he's still a nut job, but now he's a nut job that can kick ass. So
right. And he knows it now.
Oh yeah, and the thing I liked, and both Haley and I, like Haley said, this one I think was way scarier than any of them have been.
Oh yeah,
you know, just this Freddy Krueger, like in the whole weird house thing, and like all that nonsense. She's like, dude, this one's way scarier. But what I like about it is they're all aware, like they're all aware of their abilities. To me, there always has to become a point in a good. Like you have to understand your skill set at some point. And it's like when they're walking through the house and they're like doing the whole flashlight thing and they're figuring out what the hell's going on, and it's like they immediately knew what was going on. We didn't have to do 2 episodes of them trying to figure out, is that Will turning on the lights?
Yeah,
you know, or
like Will's a little douchebag. Will sucks so bad.
Well, okay. Listen, Will is.
I mean, 11 sucks too. If we're being totally honest, as a character,
in this episode, this season,
like, just as a character in general. Now, like she was the superhero, but she's always, you know, tortured, and it's
Yeah, but I mean, she's the Alanis Morissette of the group, you know, where it's just the jagged little pill,
right?
You know?
Yeah,
and there again, she. What I liked about her character is, here's a character that has lived in solitude her whole life, has been special her whole life.
Yeah.
And just like she knows her world, and they've taken her out of her world and put her in the world of the humans. Yeah. And the humans don't like her because so you know, she doesn't.
When she gets to skate, that's when she's good. Like, okay, now she's human.
Right.
When she
But
hits the girl with the skate, like, yes.
oh, that was the best. But that's her being her. She's like, I can't
Yeah.
use my powers. Well, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know?
Boom.
So she needs her powers to be who she is, you know?
Right.
And once she gets those back, which we know she is, then everything will be fine, you know? And
Right.
I feel that she just needs to live her life and just be who she is and be the superhero. And you know, she'll have Hopper back, and
Yeah.
hopefully, and because I mean, up every season up till this point, she's really been the focus, one of the high points of the show. It's like
Yeah.
her bat, she comes in at the end and saves the day, you know,
Yeah.
which is what we need, and they're gearing it up for her to come in at the end of the day and save the day. So hopefully,
So
we'll
what do
get to see that.
how do you feel about the people that are helping her get her powers back this time? It's the daddy or whatever they call him.
So, all right, that's it, because it's almost like they flipped it. So they were
Right.
always the bad guys,
Right.
but now we see no, they're not always they weren't the bad guys. She in her mind had put up roadblocks to make them out to be the bad guys because such a
Yeah.
heinous thing happened. But like the Paul Reiser character, he generally cares for her. You know,
Right.
he is generally concerned with her well-being. The other daddy,
Yeah. Daddy.
you know, there again, it's a toy. It's a toy, but it's a very important toy. Like he understands what's at stake here, so
Yeah.
he has to like get her up to speed. You know, like,
Yeah.
hey, listen, enough playing around. Here's what happened. Here's this. You know, because we need to unlock whatever thing is going on in your head because
Yeah.
you know we need you now. So I think that's what we're going to. I don't hate him as much as I did in the first. Like there again, they're
No.
Vin Dieseling us. You know,
Right.
they're like, oh, he's the bad guy. Oh, maybe he's not.
Yeah.
You know, this is all Pitch Black. You know,
Well-
the movie Pitch Black, where Vin Diesel's this angry, but by the end of the movie, we all want to hug him.
Right.
I don't think we'll ever want to hug these guys, but
The thing about so I have questions like, you know how you remember how she lost her powers, right?
yeah,
The mind flayer put the thing on her.
Yeah.
So
And-
I wonder how that's going to pay off. Is like, does Vecna, aka One, is he like taking her power in and adding to his own? Like, how did that work out? Also, like the characters we started with the Demogorgon, then we had the mind flayer.
Yeah, we had the mind flare and the demi-dogs.
And the demi-dogs, and then we had the big thing. I don't remember what it was called.
It was the mind flare incarnate because they took all the people and
so the mind flare went 2 seasons then, basically, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do those play into the plan? I wonder if we're gonna know why he sent those out, or did those just escape from that area?
Well, okay, so all right, so I think what a lot of people like the stuff I've watched on it is they're trying to figure out who's actually the boss. Because in part of it, they think that the mind flare, like even in the show, they kind of talk about like the mind flare is in charge,
Right.
And that he is like the general,
right.
So the mind flare is all encompassing, and he's the general on the ground because you know all the little tentacles that are everywhere that can feel everything. He's plugged into those.
But that's Vecna now, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's Vecna that's plugged into all of those. So Vecna is controlling all of the, you know, the things. So, you know, we don't know who's in charge of who. Is it the mind flare in charge of everything? And he's just
so you know, you're saying those are separate entities.
Yes, I think those might be separate entities where like okay, so think of it as like the upside down was the mind flare's world. Right. And then he gets thrown into it and like says, hey, you know, there's all this other shit out here that like we can go rule the two of us. And the mind flare's like, okay, well, let's do this shit. And then she starts playing in that world, you know, doing the whole reading in like in episode 1 where it was like, all right.
And a Demogorgon just escapes. It just happens to live there.
All right. So Cassie's got the Vecna character was actually in season 1. If you go back and rewatch, there Will gets taken. It's actually Vecna that takes him. Look at the hand. Wow. Okay. I mean, I'm down for that. Yeah. I'm down for that. I mean, there again, I feel like I feel like it's all about Vecna. My thought is that this whole thing is his plan.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a narcissist, so
Right.
he doesn't play well with others.
Well, now
So
he's no longer a person. He has nothing to offer this world. So, all he can do is consume the world, basically.
which he's down for because he has no problem killing people that he
Right.
thinks is dumber than him.
Exactly. So he's like, and now he wants revenge on 11. So he could technically be working with the Mind Flayer, and we just don't know that yet.
Or he made the Mind Flayer.
Or
I
he
mean,
made
for all we
yeah.
know, he's got the ability to make it. So
And that's what I wonder, like what happened. It seems like now that we're talking it through that the Demogorgon probably that's a creature in that world that just happened.
Well, it's just like those funky bats.
Right, exactly. It just happened to escape and
but
he seemed like a big bad in the first one, but honestly it was like a very small portion of what.
No, and he might have been the feeler that they were sending out to see, hey, can we get out?
Right.
How do we get out? You never. He's the lab rat. Okay, so you never go first. You send the dog through. You know, send the dog in.
Right.
So these were just parts of the because like those bats that were attacking Steve, he was controlling the bats.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't step on the vines. It's like when they're walking. So here they are. That was one of the funny scenes because here they are walking through the upside down. Yeah. And they're like, pay no attention, just don't step on these things because they're kind of like, it's like they know the rules. They know all the rules. And then they figure out like, no, dude, this is like, because they went to go get the guns.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait a minute. What happened? So that's weird. Like, we don't have the answer to why was Will like, why did the time stop?
Right.
So what?
Because that was before. Yeah, that was like what they say 10 years before.
Well, that was when the date was like when Will got took or something like that.
Yeah.
So like something had to have happened that we don't know about or that we're not going to get an answer to, or that's just going to be one of those things that we'll tell you in season 5.
Oh, I thought 4's supposed to be the end.
I hope to God it is.
I think it is. Me too, because I just hate to see something go on so long that it gets bad. I'd rather it like finish on a high note.
Yeah, I think if we'll know in a couple next week or 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks. We'll have the answers and we can be like, yeah.
Is it going to be a drop again? Right.
It's Netflix. It's got to be a drop.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, drop because we got 2 episodes, right? I think it's 2 more episodes.
Is that it? Oh, I was hoping for like 7 more, but no.
No, I think it's just 2 more episodes.
Wow. Well, it was like 7 hours of movie, basically. Like you had a movie for each episode that we watched so far.
Fast and Furious 15. God, please no.
Yeah, no. The last one about killed me.
The Vecna scene was a straight nod of Silence of the Lamb. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, like literally I'm watching it going, dude, this is Silence of the Lamb. I mean, they didn't try to hide it.
No.
And honestly, she probably walked past,
right.
In one of the cells. Anthony Hopkins was probably there.
And they do like, they've done E.T., they've done Goonies, they've done them all. So
yeah, and they do it well. So why would you not? I mean, they do a really good job at this one. So far, the only disappointment I have is that up until this point, Will's brother has always been an integral part of this. This season, he's a total bust. Like he's a total bust. Like
he may come along in the end, but
I honestly hope he doesn't because
I watched something and they called Steve the world's greatest babysitter, and that's exactly what he is. He doesn't want to do any of this shit. Steve doesn't want to do any of this,
but he does it all.
But he will because it's like all right, these kids are gonna get jacked up. Like Steve, he's like he's not a fighter, but guess what? Every time we turn around, he's fighting.
Right, and that's what I was saying. That's why Steve is my number 2 because Steve is the guy that says when you go on and says, "Hey, you want to jump out of a plane?" He goes, "No, I don't want to jump out of a plane." But when the plane is going down, Steve's the one putting on the parachute, grabbing the baby, and jumping out of the plane like it's no big deal, because it's just he knows I don't want to, but hey, man, I got to,
I love it when they're in upside down and Eddie throws him the vest. He's like, come
Yeah,
on, man, have some humor, or what do you say? Have something, have some
yeah,
shame. Or
yeah. Yeah. I mean, but that's why his character is so perfect, because it's like he doesn't want to be doing this. He just wants a normal life where he hangs out with girls and goes on dates
right,
and just normal shit. But
yeah,
he's the superhero that never
yeah,
wanted to be a superhero, you
yeah,
know. And his new partner, I love those two characters together. They're
yeah,
so fun to watch because it's like two dudes.
yeah,
They
yeah.
both like the same thing. So that's what I'm saying. They're the cops. They're the two cops. Then you've got, all right, what did she say? Then you've got the whole Freddy Krueger thing, which I love.
Yeah.
Him saying he was tortured by his dreams was great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. That whole scene was good.
Yeah.
Did you know the dude that plays Vecna, of course, or whatever the hell?
Yeah.
So he was in the whole vampire thing with all the you know
Twilight?
where Twilight. Yeah, he was one of
Was
the
he? I didn't know
Twilight.
that.
Yeah, he was
He's
in
a weird
Twilight.
looking dude. I
He
mean,
was, and he was one of the old people, one of the old vampires in the
oh,
Twilight
okay.
series. But that's him in the suit. Like that's him
Yeah.
portrayed. Like they body suited him up for that.
But
Haley's
so
been,
that's not the same guy that's the number one in the flashbacks where you see him.
yeah,
That's the same
that's him.
guy?
Same guy.
Okay. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
weird looking dude.
yeah, that's him in the suit. So
Yeah.
like, because Haley's like, holy crap, and I'm like, what? She's like, dude, that's him in the suit. Like they suited him up, and I was like, really? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh yeah.
He's in Sweeney Todd too.
Yeah, who cares?
I never
Like
watched it.
that movie sucks.
When she said the Freddy Krueger thing, it made me think of a meme. Have you seen the one where it's like Freddy's on break at a movie shoot, like smoking a cigarette, like squatted down? And it's like, I've been chasing kids so long in their dreams, I forgot to chase my own.
Oh God.
I'll have to send it to you next time I see it, man. It cracked me up first time I seen it.
All right. So we got 1 or 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
We'll wait. We got next week. We'll can wrap this series up. Give our final thoughts on that.
Yeah.
So far, right now, though, we can both agree we're really digging.
Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. 4 thumbs.
2 thumbs up. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Kenobi.
Dude, Kenobi.
I went first last time. Drop it.
Kenobi is freaking dope. I did not expect to love it because we've been disappointed so many times with Marvel, with especially with Star Wars. But they started off showing clips of the old movies. This is what happened. This is how he got here. And I was like, oh, this is a good start. But guess what? I'm still not believing you guys. Then we get into it. And we're like, Kenobi is... Now we're going to do him like we done Luke Skywalker, where he doesn't know nothing anymore. He's weak and he's old and he doesn't want to be involved in this. It's like, oh, here we go. So I'm like, yeah. Here we go. They flip it all the way around. They have a good storyline why he would be doing this.
Yeah.
Leia's a little badass. We kind of already knew that. They got the perfect character to play her. They brought Darth Vader back. The only one I really don't like is Cara Mara, the Inquisitor girl.
Oh yeah. But
the
you're not supposed
one.
to.
Yeah, and it's a good storyline why she's doing this and why she is. The Inquisitors themselves, love them. I don't know. Maybe you can explain to me how they are in the extended universe, but I knew nothing about Inquisitors up until this point. And
okay.
So I'm all the way to the finale. I've watched 5 episodes. Super dope. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the final. I love everything so far. Kenobi has got his way back. I'm excited to see what happens with Luke. Leia's a super...
So let's talk about the Leia thing for a minute.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, before we talk about Leia, we'll talk about Leia. But my thought on this and why I've enjoyed it so much, because like you, I have been disappointed upon disappointed.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe it's because we have history with these characters that because like Boba Fett was fine, but we really don't have history with Boba Fett. Okay, because
Right.
Boba Fett was 15 minutes in 3 movies, if that,
Right.
and most of those scenes were him walking by. So everything we know about Boba Fett is just lore.
Right.
And then they screwed up Boba Fett by putting an episode and a half of The Mandalorian in there. So it was like, okay, you guys suck. And we really didn't get to see badass Boba Fett. We never got. We did in The Mandalorian, and we're like, oh, let's just do that. And
Right.
we did this other like, I don't want to be a badass thing anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
come on. So, but in this, we know Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like we have ridden the Obi-Wan Kenobi. We have movies and cartoons and like this. We have so much backstory between the Clone Wars cartoons and the Clone Wars and Star Wars and everything. It's like, here are characters that we know. Like we know Bail Organa, we know Alderaan, we know Leia, we know Luke, we know the uncle, Owen, we know Tatooine. So everything that they're showing us, we're cool. We got it. We know. So all they have to do is just walk in and be like, it's like watching Picard.
Yeah.
Like we know. We're walking back into, hey, it's Jean-Luc Picard. Remember him? Yeah.
Right.
All right. Here's all the old scenes. Here's all the old cast. Shit.
That's the best part. They're like giving us the original source material.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this, remember.
You don't have to make shit up.
Yeah. We don't have to make it up. Like, remember he did this? Well, this is what happened in between that time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Like, so to me, it was like, that was going through the back of my head when they were writing this, where they just like, look, we know we have the beginning.
Yeah.
And we have the ending. All we have to do is fill in this little space in between.
Right.
And not only that, we can do it for as long as we want because, he's 6. All right. He's 18.
Right.
So we got plenty of years to which Obi-Wan Kenobi can grow old and do cool shit.
Yeah.
Piss off Darth Vader. So, I mean, to me, it was just like, I feel there has to be a point where Darth Vader comes out of the equation.
Yeah.
Because like to get to New Hope.
Exactly. That's what I was worried about as well.
There has to be a time where Vader and Kenobi don't see each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I left you, I was but the student, but now I am the master. Only the master of evil, Darth. And he's calling him Darth. Mm-hmm. So there's a point in which that switches, and he just stops calling him Anakin, or he calls him what he is. So instead of thinking of Anakin in that costume, he just no, Anakin's gone. The Anakin I know and love doesn't exist anymore. He was murdered and betrayed and murdered by Darth Vader. So or get to Rogue One. Yeah, but Rogue One is just the beginning of episode of A New Hope. So we still have a long way to go. I couldn't get behind Kenobi. Also, absolutely love the entire the Doctor Strange. I haven't seen the Multiverse of Madness yet, so only one I can say I didn't watch twice. Okay, understand. All right, so let's talk about Leia, because they teased the shit out of us and totally got us by saying, "Hey, it's going to be about Luke." Like,
no, it's not about Luke at all.
It's like here's Luke on top of the thing, and then that's all we see of Luke until we get to see him do this, sleeping, and it's like everything else has been Leia.
That was a good bait and switch, though. It was like the best bait and switch they could have done.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, and it's like you got her, like you got the most precocious little girl. They say she's 10 in this. This girl seems like she's like 6 or 7.
I thought they were 6.
They said 10 years is what they said.
No,
when they were babies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I rewinded it. She looks about 6, 7.
Yeah. She didn't look 10.
Yeah,
she acts 10.
Oh yeah. She acts like she's. Listen. I imagine, was Haley like this when she was 6? This seems like
I don't remember. That was a couple years ago. I don't remember.
Yeah. No, she they got the perfect kid to play her, and I think she's like she's sassy. She's
she does a good way of portraying that like there is force sensitivity there,
right?
Like because she's way smarter than she needs to be, and she can read a situation. Like she can read a room, like like kids are not supposed to read a room,
Yeah.
And I love that they got Jimmy Smits to come in and play Bale. everything about the setup for this as a fan was like, yeah, is Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of like standoffish and doesn't want to get involved? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
lost all his friends. I mean, he's literally
Yeah.
like when that Jedi and him meet up, and he's like, "Oh my God, I found you," and he's like, "Forget that you've ever seen me.
Yeah.
You know, I have one purpose here, and that's to watch Luke, and that's it. That's the only thing I'm here to do. Nothing else, okay? Because and he gives that whole speech. It's like, listen, we lost. It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Bury your
Live a normal
lightsaber
life.
and just disappear.
Yeah.
And it's like he's just defeated. He's lost his
Yeah.
best friend. He's lost everything he's ever stood for.
And he's rusty in the Force, like you could tell when he tries.
Well, because he's had to hide it. He's beat down. He's like, dude, they couldn't have done a better way than showing how beat down he was than to have a factory job.
Yeah.
Where it's just like all you do all day long.
What is that? I couldn't think what that, because it's like an animal that fell.
Looks like a stingray.
But you see that like it's an animal that's dead. They're going inside of it, getting the meat, and then coming back out. It's like,
it's creepy.
Like I don't know. I was trying to think of Star Wars lore. I was like, what animal is that?
I have no idea. You know, it's not a Craig's dragon because we've seen one of those. You know, they blew that up in the Mandalorian. So, who knows? I mean, there again, they've done a much better job at this. But I also look at it as like we know these characters, so we can skip the bullshit. She looks 6 or 7, but really mature. Yeah, I would agree. Like, she's still young, there's for sure, but she can read a room. She just doesn't have all the faculties of what to do with it yet.
Right.
So like she could totally get underneath the sister number 4 or whatever the hell she was.
Yeah.
And just totally like spin that chick like a top, but. She's also not enough to realize that she was toying with her to put the little bug in her, in her little, Tamagotchi.
Yeah. She's still a child.
Right.
She's very trusting, and Kenobi is absolutely the other way, but
she's gonna be a badass when she's a teen. Yeah, it was called Star Wars: A New Hope.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, we know exactly what's going.
We know it's coming.
That's my one. I think this is why they're calling it a limited event, even though it says season 1. I think this is going to be it. This is it for the Kenobi. And
the only other thing I'd want from Kenobi is what they gave, but they gave it to us in the Clone Wars. So in the Clone Wars, Kenobi and Maul get to fight off again. So we're okay. So you've never watched the Clone Wars cartoons?
No.
Okay. So there's the Clone Wars cartoons, and then there's the Rebels.
Yeah.
Those two dovetail into one another like this, because that's where Ahsoka Tano. So Ahsoka Tano started in the Clone Wars, and then she dovetailed into Rebels. And so those two series are what have led to a lot of this.
Right.
So without like those Inquisitors are those are from Clone Wars and Rebels.
Okay,
so that's where those guys came in. Hey, did you know, speaking of Fast and Furious, Han is the dude with the hat on his head?
Oh, dude, that he looks like him.
Yeah, that's Han.
You also know it's Ice Cube's son, right?
Yes. Oh yeah.
I picked up, right. Ice Cube's son. So, Tala, where do I know Tala from?
The girl?
Yeah.
She's been in a ton of stuff. I mean,
but in the Star Wars universe,
no, she's never been in the Star Wars. universe.
Okay. Because I think I know her from Game of Thrones. I think she's one of the Sand Snakes from Game of Thrones.
She was in Game of Thrones, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then
she looks so familiar. I was like, man, is she?
And I love the fake Jedi.
Right. What's that dude's name?
Yes, he was great.
Yeah,
he's hilarious. I mean, he was. I wouldn't say give him more lines, because that was the nice thing, is like enough. The lines he had.
Yeah, Haja.
Perfect. And he was just like, and he's so deadpan. I'm not a babysitter. I know not well with kids.
I forget. He's in some other stuff. He's good though. He's fun.
Oh, I mean, he was in Eternals.
Right.
Yeah, he was. Yes, Bad Batch season 2 comes out September. So in there again, like the Bad Batch cartoon is a continuation of you know, because they were introduced in Clone Wars, and so you know a lot of that. I dig the dude. They honestly, Clone Wars and Rebels, dude, they did a fabulous job on those. Like
Just
the
make them
amount
into live action, and then I'll watch them with
yes.
cussing.
No, but yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Because there again, you know, Ahsoka Tano, I'm excited to see that
Ahsoka
because
Tano's a
you
cool
know,
character.
but she was so deep into those shows. There's a lot of backstory on her that I hope we don't have to sit through. You know, like that, and also Grand Admiral Thrawn, you know, or
Right.
however you pronounce his name. That's going to be fun to dig deep into that whole relationship because we got a ton of that in Rebels. Like he was a very annoying person in that show, so that'll be fun.
Well, that's what made me mad about the other show, that they had the big bad from one of those, the blue guy, you know, the cowboy blue guy.
Oh no! Oh yeah. From Boba Fett.
Yeah, from Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Super cool character, man. The whole way the big bad, I was like, yeah, this dude's interesting. Like, who is he? Oh, he died. He dies. You know him for 5 seconds. Yeah, and he dies. It's like,
but the thing is everybody else knew who he was. Like if you've watched,
right.
So you gotta remember, these are Star Wars people, man. They've watched all this shit. So like Cad Bane has been a pain in the ass for a long time. So it was like, yes, God, please kill him.
Yeah,
because he's that guy that always gets away at the last second.
And who's watching in the cartoon? I guess everybody's watching cartoons. I'm not watching Star Wars cartoons. I'm sorry. I'll watch Rick and Morty. I've watched The Last Airbender. I'm not watching Star Wars cartoons.
The Last Airbender and Star Wars are probably neck and neck between which one's better than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're both really good. I'm telling you, man, Clone Wars is really good. Like it is, because it's Dave Filoni that did the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, Filoni did all the Clone Wars shit, and I think
so he done a lot of the extended universe stuff, right? Yeah.
So that's why he was like, "Hey, come over here. We'll do live action." He's like,
"Yeah,
okay."
I never even read any extended universe stuff. I just stuck to the main story.
When Disney bought them, a lot of shit got kicked to the curb.
Yeah.
You know, so what Disney did was just pushed everything out that has ever happened in Star Wars except for the movies.
Right.
And then said, all right, so here's what we're going to do. Yeah. As needed, we are going to draw back in characters that fit the arc we want. Like that's where you got Grand Admiral Thrawn, because Ahsoka Tano was never in any of it except for the cartoons, but she got brought in because she was in the Clone Wars cartoon, and it was a video, so it got counted as canon.
Right.
We're having fun.
We had a little feedback. There we go. We're good now.
We're good. So what? All right. So any complaints with Kenobi?
No. I didn't like the girl. I like her story. Yeah, of course she's a youngling, and she's trying to kill Darth Vader, which we know is not going to happen because even Obi-Wan can't kill Darth Vader because he's literally the strongest Force user ever until his son comes along. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows the story. So you knew that was where that's going to go. You know, there's not going to be a big showdown between him and Obi-Wan. At least I hope not, because I mean, how would that end? I don't know how that would end that. So
it would end with both of them walking away. You know,
right.
In some manner.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, dude, so the last scene where he like grabs the starship out of the sky, but this time doesn't do it like a bitch. You know, and he just like pulls it down and just like rips the strip apart. And you're going, oh, that's how that's supposed to work, you know, because, you know, Doofus did that in the last movie and it didn't really work that way. And, you know, to see him do it where he's just like, bam, and you're like, oh shit. Because in your mind, you're thinking, he doesn't even have fingers. Like,
yeah, exactly.
He's doing this with his hands, but the reality is it's just his mind, because this doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
They're not real.
No, he just lets you know he's doing something. It's like a turn signal.
I watched The Contractor. It's a just don't care movie. Did Rob ever finish watching Halo?
Didn't
Oh,
even
good
start
question.
it. Didn't even
Not yet.
start it yet. Nope, not
All
yet.
right. Well, maybe you get a chance. The Contractor. Isn't that the one with Chris Pine? I feel like that's the one with Chris Pine. It's on my list for
We
sure.
watched some. I did. Have you ever watched Righteous Gemstones?
No. Oh, that's the one with Adam Sandler.
No.
Oh.
I know you're thinking of something else. This is
Yes.
about a family that's done a televangelist Christian empire, basically.
Oh, okay.
They're horrible people. John Goodman's the main guy. It's got Danny McBride, Eddie Patterson, which is a comedian, and a few. It's really good. I just finished season 3 of it. I pretty much marathoned it. When I come home from work early, I was like, you know what? I feel like crap. Went to the doctor. I'm just gonna watch this. So I just plowed through like 7 episodes of that, and then been doing Kenobi today. So that's what I've been watching.
Yeah. So The Contractor is the one with Chris Pine, where he gets like kicked out of the special forces or something. So have you seen any of the previews for the new stuff that's coming out? Like Jeff Bridges has a new TV show coming out where he's the spook that gets like found and now has to go do his thing. And I'm like, Jeff Bridges, really? Okay, cool. And then there's the other one with Chris Pratt, whatever, where he's I think it's a new Prime, where he comes back from the service or some stuff like that, and like all his team is dead, his special forces team is dead, and I don't know. It's gonna be a new series, so they're like giving them like more episodes.
Oh, I finished Reacher as well. I
Reacher?
finally finished Reacher. Yeah, I like 3 episodes, so I
while.
finished it. Yeah.
Oh, Cassie, that series is much nonsense and stupid humor. Absolutely love
dude.
Gemstones.
Like, I mean, there's so much offensive stuff in there. That's why I love it. Like,
oh, okay, yeah, Halo's done. Halo's done for the season, so
yeah,
we'll get a season 2 next year. I mean, you could wait. There's talks of a Tron 3. Why?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. The show with Jeff Bridges is The Old Man.
The Old Man.
Yeah, I don't know. So what do you want to watch? What do you want to do? What's
So there is an Adam Sandler movie called Hustle. He's a basketball coach.
Oh
It
yeah,
looked
yeah, I saw
on
that.
Netflix.
Yeah, that looks like a typical sports movie.
Yeah, I didn't watch too many of the previews. Trying to think what else. I don't know that I saved any other. I saved some on my iPad to go on the cruise, and I don't think that I watched any of them.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you were busy.
Yeah. Well, I did. I watched some of them. What's this? Oh, The Boys. We didn't even talk about The Boys.
Because I haven't watched any of The Boys.
Dude, you got to catch back up with The Boys.
Is it? Did they release the whole season, or is it just?
There's like 5 or 6 episodes, and it's almost done. But yeah, like they're out now, and I'm waiting for the one tomorrow. It's
okay.
Let's see what I have here. There was one with there's so I did save a couple movies.
Okay.
Obviously, I saved Gunpowder Milkshake. Still haven't watched that.
Understand.
That's on the list though. Between Two Ferns. Have you ever watched that with Zach Galifianakis?
Yes.
There's a movie now of that show he done.
There's a movie
that dude is so awkward.
Yes, I'm not a Zach Galifianakis guy at all. Like it's.
Then there's another one with Van Damme called We Die Young. When his gang recruits his younger brother, a teenage drug dealer.
Oh yeah. That's gotta suck.
I saved that one, and what else? I can't remember what I saved on HBO. I just saved a bunch of random crap, like depending on what kind of mood I was in.
Yeah. So Hustle is the Web of Make Believe. Oh, that sounds like another government conspiracy
Oh,
thing.
I watched the M. Night Shyamalan movie the other day. Old.
Oh, the old?
Yeah.
Well, all right, we got to talk after the show because you got to tell me what was I can't stand watching his movies.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to what the twist was on that one, just because he's turned into such a disappointment.
Yeah,
I don't know why
really...
people still give him money.
Oh, I tried to watch Dunkirk. Pass.
Yeah.
Pass on Dunkirk, dude. I mean, it was just like...
Yeah, if you're into war history movies, great. Otherwise,
yeah, but there's not even very much talking in it.
It's British.
Yeah. I tried, man. I really tried with that. Did you ever watch the Disney live-action Mulan?
Yes.
Was it good?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, because that's another one I saved that I didn't watch.
Yeah, no, I thought that one was okay. I mean, it's Disney, you know?
Yeah.
Just as long as they manage to not kill it, we're okay.
Wait, did you watch Doctor Strange, Multiverse Madness?
The new one?
Yeah.
No, is that one even out yet? Like, can you get that one?
I think you can. I think it's on Disney Plus. Hold up.
Is it? I don't think I have Disney Plus on my phone.
Yes, for free.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
Well, fuck. We're watching that. Oh, sorry. We're watching
the Let me see if it can. Yeah, because I've already seen it too. I'll watch it again.
Yeah, all right, we're watching the Multiverse of Madness.
There we go, man.
I got it. All right. Yep. Good. All right. That's the movie. We'll watch the Multiverse of Madness. Came out yesterday on Disney. There you go.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
Perfect. We're gonna watch that. We'll watch the final episode of.
Well, that's not
Kenobi?
till.
No,
yeah,
Kenobi. We'll watch the final episode of Kenobi.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. And probably
we'll watch it this weekend.
Yeah.
I got to prep for the news, man. We got news at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I got to pick up Fernando early because he's going out of town. So he's like, I can do the news. I'm like, I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. He's like, no, I'll do the news. I'm like, don't worry about it. He's like, I want to do the news. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll pick you up. Then they can swing back by and pick you up. And then, I honestly, I forgot. We've been so busy and so crazy. I'd forgotten that like he was going to be gone. And I was like, wait a minute, I got Saturday's show to do. Like, I don't have a partner. So this morning, we're like, all right, who do you think we can get to do the show? And so getting Brian Mitchell on is a pretty cool win. So that'll be fun talking with him. Yeah, cool. I'll watch it and come on as a guest next week.
I'll send you a link, Bobby. Don't tempt me.
No. Let's have Bobby on next week.
Yeah.
Bobby, you're on next week. So we'll have you on Sidejag. Bobby will be on Sidejag. So funny. I know we're running late. A funny story, and I thought it was funny. I don't know why anyone else would. So I was watching the Biggie Smalls documentary that's going on right now. It's making its round on a thing, and the funny thing. It's not funny. Where he got shot was in front of the Peterson Museum in California.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's where Fernando, I, and Bobby, and his family were. We went to the museum that day, and we went. And so I'm like, I go in the next day to work. I said, "Damn, Fernando, you're not gonna believe this." And I was like, "Remember the Peterson trip?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Dude, we got one more thing we can say we were at." He's like, "What?" I said, "You can say you were at where Biggie Smalls got shot." And it's like, because he got shot in front of the Peterson. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah.
You know what's better than that? You've probably been in the spot where Tupac got shot and Biggie Smalls.
I don't know where Tupac got shot.
Vegas.
Oh.
I can't remember which hotel it was.
I don't know, but we'll go there. We'll find out. And then we'll.
SEMA.
Well, yeah, we have to go back we'll be back in November for SEMA, and then we'll be back in February or March for Knowledge Fest. So we got 3 more trips we're going on this year. So we have one in August is Dallas. October is Arizona. And then November is SEMA in Vegas. And then we might have one more trip in August, but I don't know yet. Or September. So then we're done.
There you
I'm
go.
out. I'm done. So I know at least 2. Well, I know at least 3. We just found out about the October trip this past Knowledge Fest. So we're pretty excited. Gotta watch Hustle. I'm sure we probably still will. I gotta go on a plane flight. I got 10 hours of plane flight, so I'll probably take Hustle. You know, I gotta take something.
Yeah.
You know, it's
yeah. I'm gonna watch it anyway. I've been.
Oh, it's the Maximum. Look, Bobby went on and found Maximum Hotel in Vegas. Well, if it's on the Strip,
it's probably gotten demolished and another hotel built in its place, I'm sure. But yeah.
So Knowledge Fest is going to be rough because they're doing it at the Paris this year.
Ooh.
So, but it's right. So here's the problem: it's on the Strip.
Yeah.
So it's like, go to class, go to the Strip, go to the class, go to the Strip, go to the class, go to the Strip. Hi, Strip.
Just get the monorail. If it's on the Strip, the monorail goes through it, and then you.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm not like we'll teach our class, and then it's like we're gone.
Yeah. Hey. Go to the world of M&Ms.
Oh, we have those here now.
Oh, did you go? Do they do the world tour of Coca-Cola?
I've done that. I've done that at the head or at in Atlanta.
Okay, so you had all the Cokes from all over the world.
So we. Funny you should mention that. By the way, don't forget this Saturday, The Boring Life of Dean and Haley will be back on. Downtown Disney has the Coke place, so we have Coke and M&Ms now. So
there you go.
We've done I've done the world tour of Coca-Cola so many times now. I don't like drinking Coke outside of the U.S.
No,
it's Coke on the bottle.
I think I have an old video where Kyle's trying it, and there was one from Italy.
Yep,
the clear one from Italy. And
it really sucks.
And he drinks.
So the worst Coca-Cola flavor is from China because it tastes like barbecue sauce. It's legit barbecue.
Well,
sauce.
This one I asked him, I was like, "What did it taste like?" He's like, "It tastes like poison."
Yes. Well, and then you could look at him and go, "Why would you know what poison tastes like?"
Right. It tastes like how it looks. Poison.
It has closed in 1999 and has had no visitors. The Maxim is now the Westin. Okay.
Oh, the fancy one.
Nice. Coke plus M&M's. Sounds like a party. All right, guys. That's it for tonight. Thank you so much for playing along with us. We've had a great time. We hope you've had a great time, too. We'll be back next week. And then we won't because I'll be at another far, far away place. But, hey, we got next week.
We always got next week.
We always got next week. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you much for playing along. Have a great weekend.